Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us on Morning Markets from True Potential. Today, I just wanted to continue that theme from the discussion yesterday that George had around company results and the ability of companies to pass through some of the rising costs that they're experiencing. That certainly did continue to support equity markets yesterday. Interesting to note that, as George mentioned yesterday, some US food companies, the likes of Procter & Gamble, talking about being able to push through prices. Similarly, yesterday we heard from Nestle, Europe's largest food producer, that they've been able to pass through rising costs given the product suite that they offer. And also, just on that inflation theme, we heard from AkzoNobel, one of the largest chemicals paint producers, that they were highlighting price increases, but again passing those through and being able to think about those being going through to the first half of next year. I think as well, the other factor was really its corporate earnings are taking away some of that focus from the narrative that had been in markets over the past 10 to 12 days around rising inflation, slowing growth, and that stagflation theme. That certainly wasn't as evident over the past couple of days as people have focused in on corporate results. And very much that was evident in how sovereign bond markets performed yesterday, with really little change on the day. If we look at 10-year yields in the US at 164, thinking about here in the UK, the gilt market trading at 115, the German Bund at negative 0.13%. So very little movement there over the course of the day. Continued to see some movement in currency markets ongoing, a little bit of dollar weakness, weakening against that broad basket over the course of today. And sterling continued to gain a bit more support, back up to that 134 level. It was only a couple of weeks that we were talking about 136. That was despite the inflation data yesterday maybe not coming in as strong as some people had expected. Nevertheless, market expectations remain the same, that we will see the Bank of England move with interest rates at some point before the end of the year. One of the other asset classes that we certainly have spent some time discussing over the past number of months has been cryptocurrencies and how they've performed. And just looking at the chart on the screen now, you can see why. It's been a very volatile journey for those investors in Bitcoin in particular over the past 12 months. But even in the past short period of time, just looking at that chart now, if you see where we'd got to in July to where we are today, some 122% return from the 20th of July to today. Really, that was driven yesterday by the news that we would have the first exchange traded fund, or the first ETF listed on Bitcoin in the US, and that really did drive some excitement, as you can see there in the chart. But again, it's the volatility. Think about that movement, 122% in a matter of months, so it still remains a very, very volatile asset class. I think really the other thing just to finish on today is in Asia. We spent some time over the past number of weeks discussing Evergrande and the impact that has, that Chinese property developer, its debt position has had on market sentiment and concerns about that. We'd heard last week that they were in discussions to sell their property services business. Unfortunately, overnight we got the news that they had failed to do that. But then if we look at how that's played through in markets today, markets have been marginally weaker in Asia. Futures for the US pointing to a slightly lower open. But then that has to be put in the context of the past 6 days, where we've seen a good performance from European US equity markets. I'll leave it there. Please do join us again tomorrow. Many thanks.
Subscribing to the True Potential YouTube channel is quick and easy. Simply go to the channel on your desktop or through the YouTube app on your phone and click the subscribe button. You can then press the notification bell symbol if you wish to be notified as and when new videos are released. Doing this is a great way to keep yourself updated with market developments and personal finance insights. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed, and we look forward to continuing to help you do more with your money.